Hello folks, welcome from Great Grandma here on the Gold Coast in Australia. Today we're going to talk about making garden signs for your herb garden, and we're going to do that by making little gnomes for your garden. Have a great day, please like. So when making these gnomes you need an armature. Some people use foil, some people pour concrete into a stocking. I have found the easiest way is to use these cones and to cover them in a cement mix, which I'll put in the description below. You can buy these at craft stores and your local hardware store. In Bunnings, the sizes were a bit too large, so I found this particular one in a toy shop. But if you can't buy these, you can start with some cardboard or some alfoil. Cut out a circle, place it over the top of the drink bottle so that you can get that shape that you want, or you can just crunch up alfoil. The issue with alfoil is alfoil and cement don't like each other, so then you have to cover the alfoil, or once you've made a solid mass around the alfoil, you need to leave a hole and pull all the alfoil out. Otherwise, it'll cause issues. So that's how you make the armature. Next, I'm going to explain how to make the gnome hat, and you make it out of alfoil and then cover it in concrete or cement, and I'll put all the mixtures in the description below. But first, please hit that like button so the algorithms work and other people who need my help will get it. Have a great day.
Okay, so here I am ready for bed, but I thought I'd better show you this. So when you're making the hat for the gnome, just get yourself 3 pieces of alfoil and start to shape the hat. Do so in such a way that you don't crunch the alfoil up too tight. Now, oops, don't think you can see me there. I'll do it on top of here. So don't scrunch it up too tight. Leave a little feather around the first piece, like so. Right, but because with these particular gnomes, I always call it gnomes for some reason. With these gnomes, you want a long piece. You want the hat to be bigger than the body, because we're going to write things like parsley, coriander, etc. for the herb garden. So get another piece, and now see what I'm doing? Just laid it out flat, and then you just turn that all in around the brim of the hat. I'm going to make this hat a little more brimmy than I have the other ones, hoping that will improve their look a bit. So there we go. Right. And put a hole there, because we want that hole in the bottom to sit on top of the cone. So let's say that was the cone, like I showed you in the previous video. Then, see, the gnome would sit, would sit in there. And make it a bit uneven, because it'll be more interesting rather than it be perfectly round. You know, have a little curve here and there. Now, just add some more to the top. And this time you can press a little harder, especially in that curl part where you want his hat to curl over. You want that to be super strong. And he needs to be a bit fatter around here, so I'll get another piece. Where to put it? Over here. Working in my kitchen. Just make it a little fatter around the bottom. And there you have it, a gnome hat. Hope this is going to be clear enough because my kitchen light is kind of causing a bit of reflection here. And some people use glue and glue this all down like the hot glue gun. I don't bother. I'm going to be covering it all with cement. And the first thing you do, because aluminium and cement don't like each other, and the cement eats away at the alfoil, you need to put it on about 10 millimeters thick, at least 5 millimeters thick. But when you get to the edge of the hat, you've got to be really careful that the cement is forming a film outside that rim. So like, say that's the edge of the alfoil, you've got to make sure that the cement comes out a bit wider. So when I sit him on, I can adjust him because I haven't squashed it all down too tight. And I can make my changes as I put the cement on. Over and out. Well, hello folks. I've mixed the concrete, and in this mix for this cone I've done 1 cup of cement, 2 cups of sand, and mix the dry ingredients really. Well, hello folks. I've mixed the concrete, and in this mix for this cone I've done 1 cup of cement, 2 cups of sand, and mix the dry ingredients really. The darn camera turned off, so I don't know what you've seen and heard until I upload the video. So I may have to just write some notes in the video. So just to go over a couple of things, you make sure, get calipers if you're not sure of the thickness. It needs to be at least 10 to 12 millimeters thick, especially if you're doing it over alfoil, because alfoil and cement don't go together. But if you make a big covering over the alfoil and join on the outside of the alfoil, everything will be okie dokie. Just trying to push it up a bit. It always wants to collapse because concrete is pretty heavy. Oh dear, gone outside the perimeter. And you can also wait for this cement mix to dry out a little bit, so that it's a little firmer as you're working with it. Because I'll turn it around, see how it wants to slope down and move back towards the bottom. So you just got to keep pushing it up. After it partly dries, I usually come back and just try and work out the thickness in each section, and if I'm feeling it's a bit thin somewhere, I add a little more of the concrete. Sometimes if you've got some left in there and you've kept it covered, then you can just add a bit of water. To the mix. Add water to that mix. Now see how just here and here is bulging out and it's moved down. So push it back up. Push it back up. And it's good if you can turn your item around in circles while you push it back up. Now the hat, first of all I'm going to put the cement on the bottom of the hat and some inside that hole. I don't think you can see what I'm doing, sorry. So I've got the hat upside down and I'm pushing on the underneath of the rim. Be patient, just wait a minute or two before you slop it on there. Sometimes what I do is put the hat in a bowl before I put it on there and let that set a little bit, which I'm probably going to do. And then I'll come back in a little while and put the hat on top of the gnome body. Okay. See you when I come back. I'll talk about them another day. And so today we're going to cover this part of the hat. We're going to try and put a little smiley face and a nose on here and a beard. Okay, let's get working. Oh, to tell you the consistency. So this morning I've added PVA glue to the cement mix. And look, it's wet all over, but it's pretty dryish. So, let's go. Little bits are dropping. And you just want to push that cement up and onto the hat. Just going to turn that hat around because I want it higher where his face is. Little bits are dropping. And you just want to push that cement up and onto the hat. Just going to turn that hat around because I want it higher where his face is. Make sure you hold the hat really still while you're joining the hat onto the body. And don't cover the top of the hat until you finish the face and the nose and the beard. And just use the little knife tool to smooth all this out. Now I'm not going to push his mouth down just yet. Later I'll push that down a bit. I'm going to make the beard. And because I've got the word love on there, he's not going to have a very big beard. You have to push it on pretty firm, and then you can come back and ruffle it. So there's his beard. Make the edges nice and smooth it into his cloak. So just poke some holes in, ruffle it up a bit. You'll have to push his nose up a few times because it is cement. It's going to want to drop. Could put a foil or a foam ball inside that nose. I tend not to because they're so small. Smooth out those lips. So we get a great big smile. And I'll come back to his lips once I've done the hat. So you need to be very careful with the hat because remember it's just sitting on top. So put your fingers somewhere and hold on. And then push your cement on around the brim first. Ah.
Information brought the cat back. I forget how the saying goes, but your questions help me improve. Your constructive criticism also helps me improve. And anything you can teach me, I will welcome. But your questions are important. For 55 years, I was teaching others in the hair health and beauty industry, and I know that a student's questions make me realize that I need to change something in the way I'm presenting information to all kinds of people. Your questions are important to me. Get into that comment section. Tell me things that I can improve on or ask me questions. I will appreciate it. Have a great day.